Welcome to the build of the Charley cardboard carriage. Now cut out all of the paper templates. Make sure you pay attention to the direction of the grain indicated on the paper templates. The next step is to letter all of the cardboard pieces that you've cut out. Make sure that the letter that you use on the cardboard matches the paper template. Identify cardboard piece A. This is the top of the carriage. Notice that piece A has a long end and a short end. The long end is the back of the carriage. You'll notice there are two identical pieces lettered B. Notice that pieces B1 and B2 have a notch cut out of it. This is the front of those pieces. Take piece A, which is the top of the carriage, and one of the B pieces, and fit them together as shown. Now you'll line up the backs of both A and B, like so. There may be a little bending involved, but that's okay. Cardboard's flexible. Now glue everything together as shown. And HUD. Hold until dry. You're going to hear this more than once. Repeat this process with piece B2. It'll be easier to bend the cardboard if you bend along the corrugation lines, which is why we have tried very hard to indicate the grain on each piece of cardboard. Now identify piece C. Notice the top of the back is marked on the paper template. This will fit flush up against piece A. It will also fit along the back of both pieces B1 and B2. Now, take pieces A and both pieces B that you've glued together, and you're going to glue them to C as indicated right here. And now you're going to hold until dry. You'll get the best results by gluing piece C to both B1 and B2 about a ½ inch to an inch at a time. You're going to bend piece C to follow the lines and the bends on pieces B1 and B2. You can do both sides at the same time, or you can do one side and then the other. Now you'll identify piece D, and you're going to bend it as indicated. When you're finished, it will look sort of like a thunderbolt from the side. This, by the way, is the seat for the driver of the carriage. Now, you're going to glue the back of the seat to piece A, as shown. Identify piece E as an egg. This is the footstool for the potential driver. you will have to fold E along the fold line. You're going to glue the smaller flap up against piece D as shown. As always, hold until dry. Notice that there are pieces F1 and F2, and then there are two identical pieces marked G. You'll notice that right in the middle of both F1 and F2, there's a small notch that you've cut out. Those two notches fit together to make sort of an X pattern, which will be the chassis of your carriage. Notice the dotted lines on both F1 and F2. This is where you're going to bend the cardboard. In order for you to do this easily, you're going to scratch through the top surface of both F1 and F2 on those dotted lines, and that'll make it easier to bend. Now we're going to identify both pieces marked G. Again, the dotted lines indicate that you will scratch through the top layer of corrugation and not all the way through. It's going to make things easier to bend. G to the sides of piece F. Just like this. Do the other piece G, and you'll be done. Now, we're going to glue the two F pieces together at the cross section of the X. You can find 2 1/4-inch or even 1/8-inch dowel rods at Walmart or any of those stores. Or, a lot of times, you can use those pretty inexpensive bamboo skewers that you can find for $50 at a time. Either way, these will act as your axles. Whichever you choose to use, cut the axle to 6.5 inches in length. Notice how we cut the dowel rod. If you choose to use skewers, by the way, don't use the pointed end. Identify pieces H. There are 2 of them. These will be used as the carriage shafts. Both H pieces have a hole that you will cut out, and that hole will fit over the right side and the left side of the front axle. Piece I is a diamond-shaped piece with a hole in the center. Both pieces I go on the left side and the right side of the back axle. Identify pieces J. There are 4 of them. They're circles. Place one of piece J on each axle position as shown. Now you'll identify K, which is the actual wheel of the carriage. It's a very decorative wheel and will add character to your project. As you can probably guess, these go onto the axles next. Now we're going to identify piece L, which is the smallest circle. This is the final piece that goes over each of the dowel rods. Add a bead of glue on each of the dowel rods. You'll notice that pieces A through E are all one piece, which is basically the top of the carriage. You're going to glue it onto the chassis, which are your G pieces, just like we show you here. Make sure you align everything carefully before adding glue. As usual, HUD, hold until dry. On piece M, you'll notice the scratch lines. Then, of course, you'll bend as shown here. After you put this together, you will affix it to the carriage at the back dowel rod, as shown. Find piece N and attach it to piece M as shown. Identify pieces O. There are 2 of them. These are decorative pieces and are glued to the back of the carriage as shown here. Hold until dry. Now you're finished. You have a really cool fairy castle type carriage that you can put small figurines in or on top of. Have fun.